Okay, so in this project, we're going to do some clustering, which means we're going to gather a whole bunch of information and we're going to try to separate them into groups using some kind of similarity between them. In this project, specifically, we're going to use the gap information. We're going to separate them by gap information and try to find out the mean and the median of its price change percentage. Okay, so let's start doing it. First of all, we're going to import the libraries. We're going to use pandas, numpy, yahoo finance, and matplotlib. So I already did that. Okay, so you're going to type in a symbol, a stock symbol. Let's use Google. Then we're going to set the period. So let's start. Let's use 2020 as a start date and 2022 as an end date. Let's put December. Okay, now let's download the data. Now we have the data frame here. So we have the open, high, low, close, adjustment close, and volume. We have downloaded that data, so we can start working on that data frame. First of all, let's get the price percentage change. So we're going to use the close column to get the price percentage change. So here we have it, a new column, which gets the difference between the close from one day to another day. Okay. Now we're going to plot that percentage change. So we can see here that mainly the values, they are really close to zero, but we also have outliers close to 10 and some of them below -10. Okay, so let's plot a histogram. So we can check if it's a normal distribution. Yeah, for sure. So we can be sure that by this image we can assure that we're talking about a normal distribution, which means that the mean, the median, and the mode, they are quite similar or the same. Now let's get the gap values, which is the difference between the open value minus the closing value from the day before, split it by the closing value from the day before. Okay, so let's find out the gap values. So here we have the column, it's the percentage change for gap values here. Okay, we can see that we have none values in percentage price percentage change e gap. We're going to deal with them in a few moments. Okay, so now let's plot the gap column here, the values from gap column. So you can see that they are also mainly close to zero, and we also have the outliers here. Pretty much like the price percentage change. So let's also plot the histogram. And as expected, we also have a normal distribution here. Pretty much both of these graphics, they are pretty much they're really close to the price percentage change. They are both normal distributions. And now you're going to get rid of those non-values here from the data frame. Okay, you can see that we have excluded all the non-values from both columns here. Oh, and now you're going to establish the class intervals for our data frame. So we are going to use the thresholds. They are from below -10 and above 10%. And here are the labels. We split those. We split them by 2.5. The values they're changing 2.5%. Okay. So let's do this, and then we are going to create a new column that we are going to define the frequency class, the class interval for each gap value. Oh, here we have it here. Let's see. This gap value -1.4, it belongs to this class interval here between -2.5 and 0, and so on for all the gap values in the rows here. Okay. Now we are going to we want to know how many items are there in each class interval. So we are going to run this. Okay, so as you can see, the highest level, the highest numbers, they are between -2.5 and 2.5%. The gap variation, the gap change, percentage change. So we can say it's more than 90% of the items, they are between -2.5 and 2.5, the gap difference. Okay, so let's plot a histogram. Yes, and the histogram confirms that. So we can say that we have much higher bars on those two classes, class intervals, right? -2.5 to 0 and 0 to 2.5. Okay. So now let's establish the price change median and mean for each of those class intervals. So we are going to run this, and we get these two lists. We get the first one is referred to median, and the second one is to mean. Okay, and now we are going to add those data to our data frame. Okay, so it's going to be in those two columns: price percentage change median and price percentage change mean. Let's add them. There we go. So now we can see, if we take a look at the class intervals, we can see the median, the expected price change median and the expected price change mean for each one of those gap intervals, right? And now you're going to plot them. Okay, so we have now the number of items for each class intervals and the median price percentage change. So this graphic is not really good because it has only one y values, and they since the frequency values are much higher than the price change median, it doesn't show quite clear to someone who is looking at it, and that's why we're going to plot those data into, we're going to use two y axis. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, now it's much more easy to understand and to see, right? So now we have the class intervals here, and we have the number of items for each one of them, and we also have in this line, this red line, the expected closing, the expected price change median for the day that it opens with those kind of gap class intervals, okay? So you're gonna check the frequency, the percentage for each one of those class, and we can see here that the class intervals minus 2.5 to 0 and 0 to 2.5, it's probably around 95%. 95% of the time the gap is going to be between those two classes. So it means it's going to be between minus 2.5 and 2.5. Okay. Now we're just bringing the percentage, the frequency percentage to close to the frequency column, and that's it. Okay, so that's it for. And I also added a code here for someone who wants to get those numbers for more than one stock. So let's see, I created a list that I added Google and Amazon stock symbols, but you can add a lot of more symbols here. And let's run this. That's the list, and we are going to set the period here. Okay. We are going to define the same thresholds and labels, and we are going to run the same code, but this code you can apply to not only one symbol but a lot of stock symbols. Okay, so let's run this and check the results. So here we have the result for Google, the class intervals and the values over here of median, mean, and we have it here for Amazon as well, the same results. So you can run this for 30, 40, 50, 100 stock symbols if you want. Okay, hope you enjoy this code, and I hope I believe it's good intel, and so don't waste it. Use it as you need, and if you feel like adding more stuff to it, feel free. Okay, thank you very much.